Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the G's in my lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, stretch. Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So that last work session, not as eventful as I thought it would be or productive, but I did go kind of down a rabbit hole that I wanted to talk about here because I knew about it, and this article kind of like really goes through, like gives me like kind of like a step by step to kind of be able to think about implementing it in this thing I've been meaning to do. So I'm gonna add a link to it real quick and save it so it'll be next to the recording of the video. But before that, I want to kind of show why I want to use this thing, right? So let me share my screen. I think I'm going to share the entire window, maybe. Let me see this one. So if I share this whole window, see something real quick. Okay, so you can kind of see I have mad tabs. But okay, so when I have projects, right? So this is the actual untilit.works site, right? If you notice, I have this about thing here, right? And then this shows all the different things like, you know, about what I used to build it with. Last update, I have not updated this site in a minute, as you can tell, because it just works for the most part. Some things broke, but not really my fault. And then for more information, right? Cool. Now, I have this other site that I just launched called mylight.work, right? And so it's different tools I made, web components, lightning talk slides, and other random stuff, right? If you notice, I have an about page here as well. Looks familiar, right? There. And this one I use like AppWrite, Astro, Cloudflare, Lucia, and Vonage, right? Cool. And again, so this one's more recent, right? So there's that. Then I have this other site where I do like my slides and things when I give presentations. Notice I have an about page here as well. Oh, hey, look, looks very mad similar, right? And so you see this one I use like Svelte and Reveal.js, blah, 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 right? And then this one's, wow, from 2020. Okay, so then another one, I think even older, this is like a hip hop timer. It's kind of like the predecessor to untilit.works, where you can like listen to stuff. It's like a Pomodoro counter, but like hip hop, right? So this one, I have this thing here, right? So yes, this is from 2020 as well. So and you can see I use like Firebase, Stencil, Svelte, blah, 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 right? Cool. Now, as you can tell, when I create projects, there's most likely going to be an about page. And instead of having to recreate an about page every single time, right? I chose to wrap it all into a web component. So in each one of these, this is the same web component where I just have an endpoint with all the different information that's in here. I call that, and then I set it on the web component, and it just knows how to do all the formatting, putting everything, all this stuff here. Like it all does it. It all knows how to do it. So I don't have to recreate it every time. And like you can see, some of these are built in different frameworks. And so I don't have to like figure out again, like, oh, wait, what framework am I using? Okay, this is how you do it in this framework. I just wanted to like you build a drop-in solution and be good to go, right? So regardless of whatever framework. So that's what led me to using web components. Great. All right, so now what I would like for this to make it even better is that all this is, you need like JavaScript, right? Even though that there's nothing here that actually needs JavaScript, but I need the JavaScript to have the browser understand what the Dwayne-made element is, because there's some JavaScript that gives the instructions to the browser to be like, all right, cool. I don't need to worry about this. JavaScript knows how to handle everything, right? But so I wanted a way to where I want it to be just like a regular element because again, there is no JavaScript here. So I wanted a way to be able to maybe on the server, like generate everything, like do the call and all that stuff in the server, and then just have it format everything and then just ship down this thing itself without needing JavaScript, right? Because if I turn off JavaScript and refresh the page, it's not going to show anything because the Dwayne-made isn't a thing, right? So that all led me to this article here. So I knew about the declarative shadow DOM, and I've been kind of like watching and keeping an eye on it. And so this one's saying as of like August 5th, this web feature is now available in all 3 major browser engines. Dope. So that means like if I can get this working for this web component, it should work on pretty much every browser, right? And so the declarative shadow DOM. So the shadow DOM, wait, can you? I don't think you can see. Hold on. If I do this, yeah, you don't see the thing. If I inspect it, oh yeah, you do see it. Awesome. So yeah, so you can see right here, the Dwayne-made. That is the web component there, right? And you see I'm using Svelte, like Svelte hydrate thing or whatever. But now here's the shadow root. So this is the stuff that's like attached when with that JavaScript that gives it the information to be like, oh, hey, you see this Dwayne-made thing? I know you don't understand, browser, what this means, but here's some JavaScript that's going to insert this shadow root to where now you can understand. Because see, all of it, there is no like JavaScript needed, right? Because everything has been placed already through it. So yeah, you see all the different detail text. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to be able to just have this show up on the page without necessarily needing these things here, the JavaScript to do it, because there is no JavaScript to be used in this, right? I made some other web components that you do need JavaScript to use, like for my video web components, like you need JavaScript to be able to make video calls. You know what I'm saying? There's no way of like having just a static HTML page without, you know, some JavaScript to make video calls. But for this, is purely like just decorative, not decorative, but like there's no real like no JavaScript needed, basically, right? So presentational, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Neither here nor there. So bam, cool, right? So that is what I am trying to do with this declarative shadow DOM. All right, at least that's what I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. So basically, I want to be able to server-side render this web component because there is no JavaScript needed. So if I can render it on the server, and then this whole page could basically just be static HTML, CSS, right? Cool. Now, so we'll go back into here. So again, I posted a link to this article, so it'll be next to recording the video. So I kind of want to go through it real quick. And yeah, so that's why I want to use this. So cool. So declarative shadow DOM is a standard web platform feature, which I like. It's built into the web, which has been supported in Chrome from version 90. So like they're on 111 now. Note that the specification for this feature changed in 2023. So you got sometimes worry about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? About things changing, including a rename of shadow root to shadow root mode. So if you're like one of the early adopters, like, oh, I'm going to go live on the edge. You know what I'm saying? Well, now you just make note of that. And the most up-to-date standardized versions of all parts of the feature landed in Chrome 124. Cool. So it's been here since like 111, but now we're good all the way 124, which I think might be one of the latest. I'm not sure. All right, so Shadow DOM is one of the 3 web component standards, rounded out by HTML templates and custom elements. There used to be, what was the other one? Modules or something modules, something, I don't remember. But that just basically became part of the website. Didn't really need it anymore. But yeah, HTML templates, custom elements. Shadow DOM provides a way to scope CSS styles to a specific DOM subtree and isolate the subtree from the rest of the document. So it's a way of like encapsulating your styles, right? So it doesn't leak out and affect other things, or the other way around as well, where the outside really affects the web component unless you want it to. And there's ways of doing that. So the slot element gives us a way to control where the children of a custom element should be inserted within the shadow tree. So slots, you can put stuff wherever you want inside the web component, because like you can name them and stuff. Neither here nor there. That's so until now, the only way to use Shadow DOM was to construct a shadow root using JavaScript. And again, that's the stuff that's basically what's the JavaScript that's needed to let the browser know what to do with the web component. All right, so an imperative API like this works fine for client-side rendering. The same JavaScript modules that define our custom elements also create their shadow roots and set their content, like basically what I just said. However, many web applications need to render content server-side or to static HTML at build time. This can be an important part of delivering a reasonable experience to visitors who may not be capable of running JavaScript. So like I said, if somebody doesn't have JavaScript enabled on their page, this is going to be blank. But I would still like them to be able to see like what I used to create it, why I created it in last updates, right? So if I can do that on the server, that'd be awesome. Cool. Oh yeah, here we go. The justifications for server-side rendering, SSR, vary from project to project. Some websites must provide fully functional server-rendered HTML in order to meet accessibility guidelines, super important. Others choose to deliver a baseline no JavaScript experience as a way to ensure good performance on slow connections or devices. Word up, because again, this doesn't need to take time to load. You know what I'm saying? Like it should just pop up like just as if it's HTML, CSS, because it is just HTML, CSS. Cool. So historically it's been difficult to use Shadow DOM in combination with server-side rendering because there was no built-in way to express shadow roots in the server-generated HTML. Then there are also performance implications when attaching shadow roots to DOM elements that have already been rendered without them. Okay. This can cause layout shifting after the page has loaded. Okay, that makes sense. Or temporarily show a flash of unstyled content while loading the shadow root style sheets. Okay, so the declarative shadow DOM DSD removes this limitation, bringing shadow DOM to the server. Dope. So that's basically what I want to do. So because again, this web component is pretty old. Like you can see, like I had projects since like 2020. And so I've been meaning to like rebuild it. And so now that the declarative shadow DOM is like baseline, I think this is probably a good reason to kind of like go back and remake it. So we'll see. So what's cool is they kind of like go through this here on kind of like building it up. So this host hyphen element, that's basically the web component. So this would be my Dwayne hyphen made. And then the template, you have to put this shadow root mode, which previously was known as shadow root. I think they said it changed. Yeah, shadow root, now shadow root mode. And you have to set that to open. I think in the web component, yes, you can see right here, shadow root open here. So instead of having the JavaScript do all that, like you can actually put a template tag and then say shadow root mode equal to open now. So that's pretty dope. And then you have the slot stuff here, which basically I don't have a slot really because nothing's like really named, but I just have all the stuff that's inside of here. So I would just put all my like container here, the form, the field sets, the legend, all that stuff, the details. So all that would go into in between this template, I believe. And then whatever light content you want. So like the stuff that's not going to be needed to be generated, I guess, right? So like if I had like a header, if I wanted to, like if on the top, if I was like, you know, made by Dwayne or something, right? But since all this is needed to be like comes from data that's pulled from a endpoint from an API call, I think I'll put that all into the template. All right. So the template element with the shadow root mode attribute is detected by the HTML parser and immediately applied as the shadow root of its parent here, the host element, parent element. So loading the pure HTML markup from the above sample results in the following DOM tree. All right. So yeah, you can see here. So similar. So you have the host element. So like the Dwayne hyphen made, shadow root, and the slot and thing here, right? So let's see. So it's kind of like this. So yeah, so you see the Dwayne hyphen made. Then we have the shadow root. So it basically does it for you. Cool. Yeah, so just by having this, basically gives you the same thing that the JavaScript would. Nice. So then this code sample is following the Chrome Devs Tool Elements panel conventions for displaying shadow DOM content, which I just showed. For example, the arrow character represents slotted light DOM content. Cool. So yeah, this gives us the benefits of shadow DOM's encapsulation and slot projection in static HTML. No JavaScript needed to produce the entire tree, including the shadow root. So yeah, so I'm thinking, so now, okay, now if you want to do the hydration part, right? So it's cool. We get this just from having this in the HTML, right, in your web components. Great. But now declarative shadow DOM can be used on its own as a way to encapsulate styles or customize child placement, but it's more powerful when used with custom elements. Components built using custom elements get automatically upgraded from static HTML. With the introduction of declarative shadow DOM, it's now possible for a custom element to have a shadow root before it gets upgraded. Interesting. Okay. A custom element being upgraded from HTML that includes a declarative shadow root will already have the shadow root attached. So, because in the code, there's like a attached shadow root or something, right? Or attached shadow DOM, I think it is. This means that the element will have a shadow root property already available when it's instantialized, without your code explicitly creating one. It's best to check this.shadow root for any existing shadow root in your element's constructor. Okay. If there's already a value, the HTML for this component includes a declarative shadow root, so then you don't have to create one. If the value is null, there's no declarative shadow root present in the HTML, or the browser doesn't support declarative shadow DOM. All right, so they have this menu toggle, and they have this template thing here, right? And so this is already set up for you. And then in your script tag, you do the class. So this is like setting up so the browser can understand. So you could probably put this inside of your code. Okay. And then, so it extends HTML element. That's what a lot of the things do already. So then you have the constructor, and then you do the super, so you get all the goodness from the HTML elements. And then you're checking if there's a shadow root. So to detect whether we have SSR content already. Okay. So I wonder if, because I just want to put the Dwayne-made into my project, and then when it's server-side rendering, I want to have all this happen. So, because I just want to put menu toggle. I don't want to have to do this stuff here. I don't know. Okay, so continue with this, and I'm going over. But this is basically the rabbit hole I was kind of going down before. I just saw this. I'm like, oh, it's pretty dope. So I don't want to have to like write this every time, though. That's the thing. I kind of want it all to be inside of here. So I wonder if I include all of this, because see, here's this custom I'm going to define here. I don't know. I have to check. Interesting. So custom elements have been around for a while. Yep. And until now, there was no reason to check for creating an attached shadow. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. So here's the attached shadow thing. Cool. I'm trying to figure out. So yeah. So you check. If not, then you have to create one with that thing here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So the button is going to be the first element child, which is right here. And then, but you should be able to do like query selector also for the button. So you don't necessarily have to do that. Like you could do a query selector as well. And then you add an event button to click the toggle. Okay. All right. Is there a function for toggle some? Oh, wait, no, wait. I wonder is there a thing for toggle that function? And then here you're actually creating the button slot button, which is here. If it doesn't have it. Okay, so it's like a fallback. All right. It will not throw an error. Interesting. Instead, the declarative shadow root is emptied and returned. Okay. This allows older components not built for declarative shadow DOM to continue working. Oh, that's cool. Since declarative roots are preserved until an imperative replacement is created. Okay, cool. I know I'm over, but let me just give me a couple more minutes here. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is basically what was just, oh, this is something else. Oh, for newly created custom elements, a new internal element shadow root property. Oh, cool. It's internal shadow root. Oh, that's fancy. Okay. Nice. So it kind of like cuts down on what you need. Interesting. Oh, yeah. So basically saves you this whole thing here. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's dope. All right. My bad. I'm okay. So yeah. So one shadow per root. Let me see. Streaming is cool. Associating declarative shadow roots directly with their parent element simplifies the process of upgrading and attaching them to that element. Declarative shadow roots are detected during HTML parsing and attached immediately when their opening template tag is encountered. All right. So parse HTML within the template is parsed directly into the shadow root, so it can be streamed rendered as it's received. Oh, so I guess I could do my shadow realm. That is awesome. So, so then I could do all that fetching stuff then maybe? Hey, Lawrence, what's going on, fam? Trip looks great. Which trip? Oh, my rabbit hole trip that I'm doing? Yeah, fam, like this is kind of wild. And I know I'm over, so I'm gonna get y'all back to work. But this is what for me, this is like my next like web component adventure. Being able to being able to server-side render web components. I mean, and so this is what I'm going to be getting into. Because again, like this web component I created doesn't need like JavaScript. It's just, you can see like it's just all like there's nothing JavaScript needed here, but I need JavaScript so that the browser can understand what Dwayne-made is. You know what I'm saying? But with the declarative shadow DOM, I can just say that with HTML and it's popping what I need, I think. And so that's what I'm going to be checking out. And they have this polyfill thing here. But yeah, neither here nor there. So shouts to Lawrence, the codes. Hope everything is well, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you back to work. Let me stop sharing my screen. Way too many things open. All right. So thanks for hanging out. So yeah, I'm going to send you off. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said before, send you off with this traveling music. So quick before I get you all here, Lawrence, what you been working on, fam? You know, let me know. All right. I totally lost all my tabs. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So get y'all back to work. Thanks for hanging out. Send y'all off with this traveling music. This here is Anthony Cruz, aka A Butter. The track is called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you 15 minutes after the hour. We'll take a look at an artist's website, maybe listen to some music, watch some videos, maybe you'll become a fan. All right. So again, thanks for hanging out. See you around. Anthony Cruz, aka A Butter. Oh, working your next talks. Very nice. Dallas Java user group. Jug. I always found that funny. Coming soon. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Word. Well, good luck with that. And wish you much productivity. All right. Thanks, y'all. See you around. Y'all be easy and peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to, you were there. And I feel like, yeah. And everybody said, yeah. We spread love like, yeah. I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere